Hey guys, how are you? To this point, we've covered 3 elites, 1 Forerunner monitor, and not a single human in our Faces of Halo series. It's time to change that. Today we're looking at one of the most badass women ever to wear UNSC garb, Commander Miranda Keyes. Thank you to Travis Bell for requesting this video, and if anyone else wants to leave a request or a recommendation, feel free to do so in the comments. Let's get started. Though we tend to think of Reach as a place where people go to die, this certainly was the opposite for Miranda Keyes. The planet was the current research site for Catherine Halsey, yes, Dr. Halsey, the evil mastermind. But did you know that Dr. Halsey was actually Miranda's mother? At some point she was conceived before Halsey returned to Reach. We actually get a small hint of this from the status terminal in Halo CEA, where Jacob Keyes was getting converted to the Flood. His memories were being torn away, including this one scene of who I think we can all agree is probably Halsey. After Miranda's birth, Halsey stayed with her less than a month before leaving the system to take care of other business. In the span of years, Halsey took this sort of travel often, leaving her daughter in the care of others. This doesn't mean she didn't care, however, as her journal was filled with scribbles and drawings about Miranda. To what degree she cared, though, was ultimately up for debate. At the age of 6, Miranda was sent to live with her father, the magnificent Captain Keyes, who lived on Luna, which is Earth's moon. There he taught an officer candidate course at the Academy of Mir Nubium. Once reaching the age of 16, Miranda entered the program, later to graduate with honors. For her first bout of active duty service, Miranda was assigned to the UNSC Hilbert, an unarmed science vessel used for research. Somewhere her mother pulled the strings to keep her away from combat, as she didn't approve of Miranda being inducted into military service in the first place. Little did Halsey know that her daughter would indeed see danger during the Battle of Gamma Pavinus 7, where she rammed the science vessel into a Covenant destroyer before escaping in a life pod as one of the only survivors. After this act of bravery, Miranda spent time leading strategists with boots on the ground, all while fighting accusations of nepotism. Her colleagues believed Captain Keyes may have had a hand in helping Miranda rise through the ranks so quickly. In April 2550, Miranda was promoted to Lieutenant Commander on Planet Reach. She was awarded a Silver Star by Lord Hood himself, and was given command of the In Amber Clad. Interestingly, she invited Dr. Halsey to come, even though she didn't quite see eye to eye with her, but Halsey never showed. 2 years later, Miranda was awarded her father's Colonial Cross, as he was lost to the Flood during the events of Combat Evolved. This medal is the highest achievement any military personnel could acquire during wartime. As she accepted the award, the space station her ship was docked on, the Cairo, was attacked and boarded by the Covenant. With the help of Sergeant Johnson and the Chief, Miranda made her way back to the ship. With a large crew and Pelicans aboard, Miranda took the ship down to Earth's surface in order to aid on the ground. After closely following the trail of the Master Chief as he fought through New Mombasa to stop the Scarab, Miranda in the In Amber Clad picked him up and jolted after the Prophet of Regret's cruiser, just in time to follow him out of the system. This slip-space jump led them to Installation 5, or Delta Halo. After a momentary revel in realizing how her father must have felt when discovering a Halo ring, Miranda flew in and sent ODSTs and a mix of other units, including the Chief, to the surface in efforts to pursue Regret.
You know about this ring. It's even more important that we capture the Prophet of Regret. Find out why he came to Earth, why he came here.
Chief, take first platoon. Hard drop. Secure our landing zone. Sergeant, load up 2 flights of Pelicans and follow them in.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
Until I can move and fight, I'm going to keep a low profile. Once you leave the ship, you're on your own.
Understood.
Over the target in 5.
Hang on to your helmet. Mind the bump.
Not long after landing, the Master Chief and Cortana realized what the Prophet was trying to do here. They wanted to activate the ring. The chief was ordered to assassinate the Prophet of Regret, as Johnson and his squad on the ring were ordered to reach the Index before the Covenant could. Little did they know they were being tailed by the Arbiter himself, who was trying to prove his faith by completing this near-suicidal mission of retrieving the Index, or what they called the Sacred Icon. Another hampering factor, and that's putting it lightly, is the fact that the Flood were also unleashed on the ring, and making it difficult for either group to accomplish their goal. As a matter of fact, everyone from Johnson and Miranda's battle group was killed, converted, or both by the Flood during this venture. As Miranda pulled a daring stunt and claimed the Index from Delta Halo's library, a strange discomfort came across her and Johnson. Thelvadim, the Arbiter, soon emerged and overtook both of them. With both of them unconscious, the Brutes, along with Tartarus, were able to secure the icon and the two captives for future use, just before Tartarus threw Thel down a large Forerunner chute, seemingly to his death. Miranda and Johnson were taken aboard separate Phantom dropships toward the control room of the installation, but not before Johnson escaped and assumed command of a Covenant Scarab. As Miranda was being used to activate the ring, the Arbiter tried one last time to explain what Halo truly was. Tartarus wasn't having it though, and he used Miranda to push the Index into the control interface, setting the ring to begin firing.
The great journey has begun, and the Brutes, not the elite, shall be the Prophet's escort.
As the Arbiter and Johnson brought down Tartarus, Miranda pulled the icon from the center of the firing mechanism, thus halting the firing action. Guilty Spark then explained to them that the other rings were now on standby for remote activation from the Ark, the portal to which was on Earth. The crew raced back to Earth to warn the others, where Miranda had command of Crow's Nest, a research outpost used during the excavation of the portal to the Ark. As Crow's Nest was being overtaken, the humans opted to detonate a bomb to give them time to proceed nearer to the dig site. As they got near, a flood-filled Covenant ship crash-landed nearby. The chief was sent aboard and found a message from Cortana, after which a meeting was held in Artus Vadun's ship, the Shadow of Intent. The preceding discussions were anything but easy.
Remain here. Hold out as long as we can.
Did you not hear? Your world is doomed. A flood army, a grave murder, has you in its sights. You barely survived a small contamination.
And you, shipmaster, just glassed half a continent. Maybe the flood isn't all I should be worried about.
Following Cortana's message, Miranda and all the others went through the portal to the Ark to fight their way to the control room. After assisting in the drop of the shield towers around the control room, Miranda ordered the chief to storm the Citadel and kill the Prophet of Truth, ending the Covenant threat once and for all. However, the flood-infested High Charity crashed into the Ark during the ensuing battles, and by the time the chief entered the control room, the Flood assisted him toward their shared goal of stopping the rings from firing. Finally, everyone was brought back together in the control room, but John and Thel were too late to help Johnson and Miranda. Truth's Brutes had control of Johnson and forced him to activate the rings, but not before Miranda's acts of heroism. She crashed right into the control room herself aboard a Pelican. Exiting, she killed 2 Brutes. Then she saw Johnson, who told her she should kill him and subsequently kill herself to delay Truth's plans. She aimed at him, understanding his idea and its necessity, but sadly, she hesitated too long. The Prophet of Truth killed her by shooting her in the back with a Brute Spiker. After the Prophet was killed by Thelvadim, Johnson carried Miranda's body into her Pelican and escaped, protecting her from flood conversion. Following the premature firing of Installation 4B, the brave men and women who fought in the Covenant War were immortalized in a barren African wasteland, along with none other than Miranda Keyes, last in a long line of skilled family soldiers. Without her acts of bravery and daring, the Covenant War would have, been lost during the events of Halo 2. Interestingly, one of the ideas during Halo 2's development was that Miranda would betray the Chief, as a plot point. Joseph Staten, who was back at Halo by the way, couldn't find a way to make it work, and thus, the idea was scrapped. I think it was for the best, honestly. Also, we've all been waiting for the Halo TV show for years, so here's a little tidbit if you didn't know. Miranda and Jacob Keyes will be in the show. They are being portrayed by Olive Gray and Danny Supani, respectively. Now, for some reason people are offended that the actors aren't white. Who cares? The only part that bugs me is that they're making Miranda a doctor for some reason. I don't know why, really. But anyway, that's all I got for this one. Did you learn anything new about Miranda Keyes? And did you have a character you wanted to see a video on? Make sure to leave it in the comments. Also, if you enjoyed, why not leave a like? It's highly appreciated. You can also subscribe to see more Halo content. I suppose that's it for today. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.